not an ordinary election.
No.
We basically have to decide whether we're going to stay on the current path we are on, a path of debt, a path of doubt, a path of decline, or we're going to reapply our country's founding principles and get us back on the right track and reignite the American idea. The problem is that politicians, in the past they've come from both parties. Politicians like President Obama and lots of them like him in Washington have been more worried about their next election than they have about the next generation. We will not do that. We will lead. We want to earn your support. We want to deserve this victory so that when we win, we have the mandate and the moral authority to take control of the situation, prevent it from getting out of control, and get this country back on the right track and fix this mess in Washington. You know, by any measurement, when President Obama came in office, he inherited a tough situation. By the way, that's pretty much what we all hear from in Charlotte. Here's the problem. He didn't make us better off. He can't say that we're better off than we were. So he's run out of ideas. And that, unfortunately, is why his campaign has gone from hope and change to attack and blame, to fear and frustration. You know, the president is going to be in Charlotte tonight for the Democratic Convention. Their convention actually began with a tribute to big government. They actually said government is the only thing we all belong to. Then they cut references to God out of their platform. They reversed course on that one yesterday. It wasn't really a popular reversal if you watch it on TV. But to quote a prominent journalist from Wisconsin, they were against God before they were for him. Right here in Colorado, 4 years ago, with the styrofoam Greek columns, a big stadium, the president gave this long speech with lots of big promises. And he said, and let me quote, "If you don't have a record to run on, then you paint your opponent as someone people can run from." You know what? That's what he said 4 years ago. That's exactly what he is doing today. He has no record to run on. He said, Candidate Obama said, the Democrats have a very different measure of what constitutes progress. By those very measurements, his leadership has fallen woefully short. Candidate Obama said he measured progress by how many people can find a job that pays the mortgage. We've seen record home foreclosures under this administration. He says we measure progress when the average American family saw its income go up instead of down. Friends, average household family incomes have gone down $4,000 in the last 4 years. He said that we measure progress whether someone with a good idea can take a risky start in a business. But small businesses report that this is the weakest recovery ever. When President Obama took office, the national debt was $10.6 trillion. Today, it's over $16 trillion. And no solution offered to reset. When he took office, nearly 32 million people were on food stamps. Today, 4 years later, somebody's microwave is burning. Today, 4 years later, 47 million people are on food stamps. That's a record high. You know, it was just reported that in the middle of President Obama's debt ceiling negotiations last summer, Vice President Biden said, quote, "You know, if I were doing this, I'd do it totally different. Sounds like Joe and I finally agree on something. You see, President Obama can give great speeches. He can blame other people in the past, but he can't tell you we are better off as a nation. I love this debate about Medicare. By the way, this debate about Medicare is a debate we want. It's a debate we're going to have. It's a debate we're going to win. And when we talk about the fact that the president took $716 billion out of Medicare to fund Obamacare, don't take my word for it. Take the word from the Medicare Chief Actuary, from the Congressional Budget Office, or from arithmetic. You can't spend the same dollar twice. Either this money comes and helps Medicare, or it goes to pay for Obamacare, but not both. And you see, when we repeal and replace Obamacare, we stop the rate of Medicare, and that's when we're very rarely have I seen a situation in this country where the man and the moment meet so perfectly well. When you take a look at the man that Mitt Romney is, the years of character, of integrity, of achievement, of leading by example, this is the kind of man we want to be a leader of our country. There are four great qualities or elements that make for a really great leader for tough times. The person has to have a bedrock of principles. The person has to have a moral compass. The person has to have a vision for the nation that we see. In keeping with those principles, in keeping with that moral compass, and they have to have the experience, the ability, the proven knowledge to make that vision work, to execute it. Ladies and gentlemen, of all people, that is Mitt Romney. Remember the Olympics back in the late 90s? Remember all the waste and the corruption and the bloated spending? Sounds kind of familiar these days, doesn't it? They had a big problem. They needed someone to turn it around. So they called a guy in Boston, asked him to leave his life, move to Salt Lake for 3 years, and get it turned around. And that's exactly what Mitt Romney did. Duty, service, honor, and a 50-minute trial. One thing that we know about Mitt Romney that I'm proud of is this man has been successful in business, and by the way, being successful in business, that's a good thing.
You built it, right?
Resistance. There is no other system in the world that has done more to help the poor, that has done more to help people rise in life and reach opportunity and tap their potential than the American system of freedom and free enterprise that we don't want to replace that we want to Just look at the contrast between the kind of leadership that Mitt Romney has proven and has offered versus that what we are getting from President Obama. Under President Obama, we have 23 million fellow Americans million men and women struggling to find work in America today. We have nearly 1 out of 6 Americans today living in poverty. It's the highest rate in a generation. The president said if you just pass his blowout spending spree called stimulus, unemployment will never get above 8%. It hasn't been below 8% since then. President Obama has presided over the first downgrade of credit rating of the United States in our country's history. Just look what Mitt Romney did in 4 years as governor. Mitt Romney lowered unemployment, family household income went up $5,000, he increased the credit rating, he created jobs, and by the way, when you take a look at what the president said back 4 years ago, remember he said, we're not red states, we're not blue states, we're the United States of America, let us set aside childish things and work together. This is the 3rd president that I have worked with. This is the most presidents, this is the most partisan president, the most acrimonious climate, the bitter partisan environment I've ever seen. When Mitt Romney was governor of Massachusetts, a Republican governor of a Democratic state, where nearly 9 out of 10 legislators serving in that legislature were Democrats. He didn't demonize them. He didn't demagogue them. He reached across the aisle. He treated them with respect. He worked with them. He didn't compromise his principles. And he balanced the budget without raising taxes. Now, we believe we owe you, our fellow citizens, more than just pointing out the obvious or pointing out the sharp critique of our adversaries. We owe you solutions. We owe you a vision of how we will replace this problem by reapplying our founding principles. And that's exactly what we are doing. We want you to have a very clear choice. We don't want this campaign to be the lesser of 2 evils. That's what President Obama is doing. We want you to have an affirming choice. So you can choose, I want this path instead of that path. I want the opportunity society with the safety net, the path of prosperity. I don't want the welfare state with the debt crisis.
Yeah!
Is what our 5-point plan is all about. I'll be really brief. We have lots of energy in this country, in this state. Let's use the energy in this country. Let's use the energy in this state. Let's create jobs. Let's lower gas prices. Let's help the economy. Let's improve these pipelines. Get people back to work. That's a job creator. It's stifling jobs. Out of work. I've got friends I grew up with who lost their job at a plant in our city. They're in between. They're in their 40s or their 50s, and they don't have a career. You've got to have a system of quality education that parents are in control of, and a system where adults can get the skills they need to get back on the path of prosperity, back in their careers in the 21st century. That is so absolutely critical. You've got to clean up the bureaucracy and fix that problem. And we know, because we've done this before, when we make more things in America, when we grow more food in America and sell it overseas, we create more jobs. We need trade agreements that open up markets and hold cheaters accountable if they live under promises to us, and have trade agreements that create jobs so we can make and produce more things in America and sell them overseas. The last 4 years have been pretty frustrating for a budget cut. That's right. It's really simple. We simply have to stop spending money we just don't have.
Amen.
We've got to put this budget on track for balance. President Obama has sent 4 budgets to Congress. The one he just sent us last year was voted on in the House and the Senate. It didn't get a single vote from a Democrat or Republican. It never even proposed to ever balance the budget. And his party allies in Congress and the Senate haven't even passed a budget for 3 years. When you have a debt crisis, when you have a jobs crisis, simply not even trying is not good enough. We have got to get this budget under control before we wind up like Europe.
When they try to divide people in this country based on envy, based on fear, based on anxiety, let's never forget that the jobs in this country primarily come from successful small businesses. We want to champion small businesses. We want to humanize small businesses. And when we see a small business woman and she built that business, we tell her, yes, you get the credit for building that business, but you don't get it. Our objectives are very clear. We want growth. We want opportunity. We want upward mobility. We want this to be the land of the free, where the only thing that limits you from reaching your destiny is your own God-given talent and your own effort. That's what this country is all about.
Right.
More than just about more economic growth and more jobs. That's crucial, it's fundamental, but it's not what this entire campaign is about. This is not just who's going to be the next president for the next 4 years. That's not the kind of moment we're facing right now. This is really a generation-defining moment. It's because of math and momentum. It's because of the tidal wave of debt that is hitting us, and it's because the fact that there's so many people struggling, so many workers worried, so many people who can't find opportunity, so many young people coming out of college with nothing to offer. This is really an election about what kind of people do we want to be? What kind of country do we want to have?
That's right.
And when you think about this, it really kind of comes down to what is America? America is not just these beautiful Rocky Mountains. It's not just Wisconsin or Maine or California. It's not just the geography we know as our country. America is an idea. It's the only country founded on an idea.
That's right.
Sometimes even presidents need reminding. Sometimes we need to go back and read that Declaration of Independence, because that is where this idea was so clearly pronounced. Our rights come from nature and God, and not from government. It's in a nutshell what we are. That idea is always tested. Each generation has an obligation to preserve it. You know, Winston Churchill once said about America that the Americans can be counted upon to do the right thing, but only after they've exhausted all the other possibilities. I kind of think that that's where we are today. Look, we understand this moment. We are not going to let this moment pass us by. Here's the commitment that Mitt Romney and I are making to you, our fellow citizens. This idea is precious. It was given to us by our founders, and has been secured every generation since by our veterans, and we thank them for that. So here's our commitment. We are not going to duck the tough issues and kick the can down the road. We're going to lead and fix this mess in Washington. And we are not going to spend the next 4 years blaming people from the last 4 years. We're going to take responsibility
responsibility and get the job done, reach across the aisle, and fix this problem. Get back to work. Create jobs. Growth. And most importantly, we are not going to try and transform this country into something it was never intended to be. We're not going to replace our founding principles. We're going to reapply our founding principles. That's what made this country great.
Right.
That's the kind of leadership we deserve. And I just want to leave you with this one thought. We can do this. This can be done. It's not too late to get this right. Colorado's an important state. I think you understand that. I think you're kind of used to that. You have a huge responsibility, but also a tremendous opportunity. We need your help. This is our country. This is our future. It's what we're going to do for ourselves right now in our economy and what we're going to leave to our children and our grandchildren. And just know this. We get this right. We can turn this around. We can get this done. We can do this. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming out.
Push your way up. Very much. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.